Test Drive with Graham Fletcher.
This week's test drive features a truly unique vehicle. Now, not since the demise of Morris Garages has the motoring world seen anything quite like this. This is the 1990 Mazda MX-5 Miata. Now this, the skid pad, seems like a very good place to start.
Yikes, it's almost 30 years ago that Graham and I first got behind the wheel of the brand new, out-of-the-box Mazda Miata, a vehicle that became an instant hit. Well, over the years, of course, it's undergone some changes, not a lot, and this week we get to drive a new flavor of the fourth generation, and it's a vehicle that Mazda is hoping will attract a brand new customer into the showroom. They're calling it the MX-5 RF.
For the MX-5 in general, for the soft top, or for the whole program, we really went back and looked at the first generation car, and that was our main target, is to get back to the purity and the simplicity of that car that it originally had when it came out, when it was so lightweight and just so pure.
For us, this fourth generation MX-5 represents what the brand's all about, what Mazda's all about, and what the MX-5 really represents for the company. And that's fun to drive motoring, emotional passion, and soul in the product. For the RF, we really wanted to separate this car a little bit from the Roadster and make it a little bit of a different proposition, maybe a different target buyer. We found that people who drive Roadsters have the top down about 80% of the time, and people who drive RFs or retractable hardtops have the top down about 20% of the time.
Retractable Fastback is what we're calling it now. We really wanted to take the opportunity of the fact that we have to design a whole new top mechanism and the back half of the car really has to change a lot. We took that opportunity to give the car really a different look.
The roof's made of three parts, aluminum, steel, and plastic. And the idea for that is so the roof can articulate and fold into the area where the convertible top goes. The top adds a little bit of weight to the car, about 100 pounds, but we didn't impact any of the storage room in the trunk area. The one other thing about this is most retractable hardtops have a line down here that you can see in the side of the car, or the front of the car, or the back of the car. We paid special attention to cleaning this line up, so you can see it ties straight in with the belt line and the rear door cut line. And what that does, it gives the car a very clean, seamless look. So when you look at it from afar, it feels like it's a coupe.
I really like the back end on this Mazda, especially the taillights. Now, as we know, one of the good things about this Targa roof is it does not go into the trunk. But does it really matter? As you can see, we've got room for, well, one suitcase, small suitcase. But it's a sports car. It's not a family car, and that's the point.
We really want to make the MX-5 fun to drive at every speed level. So if you're just driving around town, it's fun to drive. If you're a race driver and have a lot of skill, it's still fun to drive. And no matter how good you are, the car can match you.
You know, over the years, we've got lots of email from viewers who are, well, tall. I is what I is, crash test dummy, and they've always wondered how a particular vehicle might fit them. Well, one of our cameramen is Paul Reed. He is 6'2". Let's see what Paul thinks of this new Mazda.
Whoa, guess someone like Brad was driving this before me. But yeah, I don't know, it seems to be plenty of room for me, being 6'2", and maybe even someone that's a few inches taller than me. Something I'd be willing to pick up if Brad started paying me a bit more, but don't tell him I said that. Guess that's a dream just like this car.
We want to kind of elevate the experience of ownership with the car, so it's a little quieter inside. It's a little better protection in the elements if you live back on the East Coast or in cold weather environments. And so for that reason, we want the RF to kind of a little bit different segment for us. It's a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated than the Roadster. Still got that great driving dynamic that the Roadster has, still a great performance, still that perfect 50-50 weight balance, but it's a little bit different dynamic and a little bit different demographic.
We've always kept the MX-5 low on power. That's one of the sort of the key things about the car is rather than trying to make it fast by just adding a bunch of horsepower, we keep the weight low and make the car really controllable. It's actually more fun to drive a slow car fast than to just drive a fast car slow. If you have a 500 horsepower car and you're driving around on the street, you can never use all 500 horsepower. You can use all 155 horsepower in a Miata and you won't get too much attention.
And why people love the MX-5 is because it's fun to drive, it's a great looking vehicle, and you don't have to put your kids in it.